Hi, welcome to our math. Today I'm doing a series of videos on solving polynomials and in this case specifically quadratics. So with this one we are focusing on the quadratic formula, which is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now the discriminant is this b squared minus 4ac. That's because it's under a square root. If it's positive, you have two real solutions. If it's 0, you're not adding and subtracting anything, so you have one real solution. And if it's negative, it becomes imaginary. So we are going to start with the discriminant. So we're going to look at this one and solve for b squared minus 4ac. So b is 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times 7. 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times 7 is negative 31. That negative means the answer is imaginary. There are two ways that this happens, and you need to talk to your teacher to know exactly which way your teacher wants this. You can say no real solution, because there is no real solution to this. But if you happen to be in a class that is dealing with imaginary numbers, you're not done. You need to say q equals negative b, well 5 is positive, so negative b plus or minus the square root of negative 31 all over 2 times 2. And then we separate this out to negative 5/4 plus or minus the square root of negative 31 over 4. And then because it says round to 3 decimal places, we're going to say q is equal to negative 1.25 plus or minus. Now all I'm putting into the calculator is the square root of 31 divided by 4, which is 1.392, and the negative comes out as an I. You can't combine these because you can't add or subtract until the multiplication is done, and so this would be the final answer. Okay, for this next one, this only works if our quadratic is equal to 0. So I need to start by subtracting 50 from both sides. If I do that, I get 2t squared minus 18t minus 25 equals 0. Okay, so now the discriminant, b squared, negative 18 squared, minus 4 times 2 times a negative 25 is going to give me 524. All right, so then that's not a perfect square. So I'm stuck again using the quadratic formula. T equals negative b. Well, b is a negative 18, so minus a negative is a positive. 18 plus or minus the square root of 524 over 2a, so 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to do these separately. I'm going to say 18 minus the square root of 524 over 4, and when I put that into my calculator, I get negative 1.223. And then I'm going to do 18 plus the square root of 524 over 4, and when I put that into my calculator, I'm going to get 10.223. If you're being asked to do an exact solution, because this is divisible by 4, we would turn this into 18 plus or minus the square root of 4 times 131, which would then become 18 plus or minus 2 times the square root of 131 over 4. And then we would factor a 2 out of everything, so we would have as our alternate solution 9 plus or minus the square root of 131 over 2. So make sure that you know the manner in which your answer needs to be. If you're doing imaginary or no real solution, if you're going to decimal, which is what these directions say, or if you're looking for an exact solution in which you have to simplify both the radical and the final fraction to get to your final answer. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my Facebook page, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.